Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Paula Morrison, and I'd like to welcome Ranjit, who's going to be presenting today on 10 Secrets of Healthy Aging. My role is a research coordinator for interior health. I work in long-term care research and quality improvement and with seniors care as well in the community. We'd like to respectfully acknowledge that UBC Okanagan is situated on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan Nation. We appreciate that we can work, play, and live in this area, and welcome you to add in the chat areas that you might be coming from, because I know there's lots of people from different areas, and that's fantastic. We'd like to welcome you to the 11th Annual Okanagan Embrace Aging Month, and thank you for joining us today. Embrace Aging is co-hosted by the Institute for Healthy Living and Chronic Disease Prevention at UBC Okanagan, Interior Savings and Interior Health. UBC Okanagan has joined the global network of age-friendly universities, formalizing its pledge to make UBCO more accessible, intergenerational, and committed to research programs that are informed by the needs of an aging society. If you'd like to know more about the age-friendly university, I invite you to explore this initiative, offer suggestions to get involved at the Aging in Place Research Cluster, and that's aginginplace.ok.ubc.ca. Embrace Aging Month was launched 11 years ago to celebrate and raise awareness about positive aging, and has once again organized a number of educational opportunities and events during the month of March. I hope you've been able to participate. There are some recordings online that come up, and there's also some more opportunities coming up. And thank you to Keta. She has just posted the embraceaging.com website where you'll find opportunities to get involved in further sessions. The sessions are designed for everyone, young and old alike, and focus on a variety of topics related to healthy aging and ways to improve quality of life among seniors and their family caregivers. Our goal is to inspire everyone to embrace positive aging. Today's event is 10 Secrets of Healthy Aging, and thank you, Ranjit, for joining us, and I'll pass the torch to you.
Thank you, Paula. Welcome to my session, everyone. As you see on the screen, it's 10 Secrets for Healthy Aging. You know, our clock keeps ticking and we all are aging every day. And the key, really what we need to focus on is, as we age, how can we spend our future years in a healthy manner, and also be able to be fully functional and still be able to do all the things that we love and live a good quality of life for decades to come. And whatever decisions or whatever actions we take today in our lives, that those actions do help or affect our life as we age. So learning early on how to take care of our health will definitely benefit us as we age. So let's start now. It's never too late to learn how to lead a healthy lifestyle. And I'm sure you all are taking some steps to towards your health so that you can live a good quality of life. But hopefully I have some new tips for you, and I hope you enjoy the session. So what am I going to talk about? Definitely, what is health? How does WHO, World Health Organization, define it? And discuss the steps to healthy aging. I have some resources at the end, and I do want the question answer period at the end, because I think we'll have a lot to talk about, but at the same time, I don't want you to miss out on the presentation so that you'll have all the content. So WHO defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. So basically, a life that is, free from diseases or illness. So as WHO explains, so molecular and cellular damage over time results in aging at biological level. We don't really see this, but it is happening as we live our lives. So when we are busy, we are exposed to certain things, we do certain things that affect our body, but at the cellular level, we don't really notice those things till we actually age and it starts to affect our organs, right? Reduced physical and mental capacity, risk of diseases, and ultimate death. And aging is also affected by life transitions. And those could be things like, you go through some major life event. For example, you may just retire and your life all of a sudden will seem very different. Loss of a partner or or a loved one, that makes a huge difference in your life. Or double whammy could be, for example, I do like to give you some examples from my life that have affected me, and I think they're very relevant. So hopefully, there's something to learn. For example, I worked in the health system for 40 years. All of a sudden, I retired. From working full time, I had nothing to do. And so from there, I moved to Okanagan because it's a beautiful place. But guess what? In doing so, I lost a whole, group of friends that I had from work, also in my personal life. And I come to Okanagan, I don't know anybody. So that's a huge transition for me. And it does affect me big time because my social life or my mental health, I would say I was kind of starting to feel down where I think, oh my God, I don't know anybody. But retirement is supposed to be so wonderful, right? So those kind of effects, those kind of transitions do affect you actually in your aging process. And we'll talk about this a little bit more in detail later. But that's as per the WHO, that it can be affecting your quality of life. Anything such as big move, it could be death of a partner or loss of a loved one, or again, retirement, illness. All of a sudden, you get struck by some major health issue. All those things do affect. So, United Nations declared the years 2021 to 2030 as a decade of healthy aging. And that means collectively at the global level, they are trying to address the aging so that to reduce the health inequities and improve the life of the older people. And in this, they've assigned WHO to sort of implement this initiative, to work at the global level with all the countries, to collaborate and to come up with strategies so they can reduce the health inequities among people. So the main ideas here are to reduce the health inequities and improve the lives of older people, their families and communities through collective actions in 4 different areas. So changing how we feel and think about aging. Is it positive, negative? How do people perceive? Developing communities in a way that foster the abilities of older people. So making the communities more, older age friendly. And there are lots of examples that we are seeing happening in the communities, but still there's a lot of work to be done around that. Delivering person-centered integrated care. Sorry, my slide is not supposed to move. And primary health services responsive to older people, so they should be easily accessible for them, providing older people who need it with access to quality long-term care. So all these 4 topics collaboratively are being worked on at the global level. And that is an initiative that United Nations has pushed through. And governments at different levels, they are trying to work on it. An inspiring story that sort of gives you an example of how starting to work on your health is never too late. So Jerry Timmerman started swimming competitively at 79 years of age, and this gentleman was in Manitoba, participated in master swimming competition, and he established 2 world records at the age of 104. He said it was a challenge for him. That's why he swam. This was something that he said, I want to make sure I do it, and I want to do it. And he, the way he kept going, he said, I never worried about getting old, just kept plugging away. So if Jaren can do it, we all can do it. It's never too late. So when is the time to start? I would say start now. And the sooner you start, you start gradually, like he started. I mean, starting to swim, and then gradually he challenged himself to participate in the masters competition, and yeah, there you go, he set the 2 world records. So it's the willpower that we have to work on, and if you set your mind to something, you can do it. So it's never too late. So how can we stay healthy? Take action now. And what do you do? So this is where staying healthy is uh, it's multifactorial. Definitely, it's affected by where we live, what kind of environment we have around us, or other socioeconomic factors. So that can affect your access to certain say health resources, but a lot of it, they say about 60 to 90%, it's the person's own initiative. So it's the individual attitude and individual efforts that actually can help a person to stay healthy. So resources and stuff are one thing, definitely, but the other factors definitely is a personal attitude, personal willpower, willing to do certain health, positive health actions that will move a person towards maintaining their health. So understanding your health risk factors becomes really important. What are your genetic health, any health concerns that will come into play? But at the same time, say for example, I know I'm 60 plus now, and I have arthritis. Okay, I know that I have this particular issue. What do I do to exercise or to stay healthy so that I can still, be functional, so that I don't let arthritis control my life, right? So each individual has to sort of look at their own health history and see what is possible for them to do in terms of their exercise or diets, or if you have some health conditions, how do you overcome those and still be able to stay healthy, right? So that's where you really have to understand your own personal health risk factors. Some risk factors are beyond your control, right? So those could be like your genetic factors. So some things that you have inherited, and but I've known people who have those genetic risk factors, but at the same time, they're so determined that I'm going to beat it. So, for example, somebody has, say, a heart disease as a factor that they have inherited, and they've had deaths in the family um, early on, and it is a known factor by 50 or 55, their family members have been dying. But, somebody has taken it as a challenge and say, no, I'm going to beat it. So they work on their diet, they work on their heart health, they work on their overall lifestyle, and they work with the physicians so that they can actually take some calculated risks to overcome those. But definitely, genetics do come into play, and so we work with those in relation to those factors with our healthcare providers, and see how you can still stay healthy. Some risk factors are within your control, and there are many of those, right? We can control what to eat, what to what kind of lifestyle we live, and how much we exercise or not. So those kind of risk factors are within our control, and that's where your willpower comes in. So decisions, whatever decisions you make every day, you can have a huge impact on your lifespan. So living a healthy life and can definitely, give you a nice, long, healthy, later life. And main thing is to maintain that quality of life. It's not only just living longer, but the quality of life. So in order to be the healthiest, we'll talk about the 10 secrets for healthy aging to be the healthiest. So what I say is assess your own health risk factors, look at what you can change, what you cannot. I'm a South Asian. I have my genetic, factors. Some of the known ones are like, say, the heart diseases, the strokes, diabetes. Those are three big ones in my, say, South Asian originated people. But how do I beat those, right? And what can I do to stay healthy with the factors that are within my control? I can choose to eat healthy. I can choose to go for exercise. I can choose to be happy. So all those things, you have to assess and then see what calculated risks you can take in your life so that you can be healthy. So let's move forward with this. So if you notice here, the healthiest, I've got it in capital, and I'll address all those, each letter, and you'll notice that on my title, it will be in red. So just pay attention to that. So having friends and confidence, I can't say enough about that, because pandemic, if something has really, really taught us to the importance of having that social connection, having that support from your friends, your family, your confidence. And they are like buffer in your regular life, in your stresses, and they help you. They give you a sense of belonging. They help you through your stresses, and nothing like having a confidant who you can open up about anything in your life that's going on, so that you receive support from them. You feel less stressed when you talk to them. They are your go-to people when you have problem. Hey, what can I do? Having such a people in your life is so important. Social workers at U of T, they did a research on 50 plus year people suffering with COPD, and they found that people who had who were 50 plus and had COPD but had really good friend support, they fared really well than the others who did not. So having that friend support, family support is so important for um, our daily living. Developing friendships outside of work environment. I'm really going to stress on this because, as I said, when I left my previous town, I lost my work friendships. So the way I explain this is we we add on to our tribe. So our tribe, by virtue of work, is the work, friends. So colleagues, people that we interact with on daily basis at work, they are our work tribe, right? And then we have other friends, which are our personal life friends. So outside the work environment. So if you didn't have any friends outside your work environment, so think about it. When I retired, all of a sudden I'll be totally doomed because I didn't have any other friends. So developing your tribe outside your work environment is really, really important, because that is your social network that will come into, you know, uh, that will be helpful for you when you're not working, or suddenly you lose your job, and then who do you have, right? So having those friends outside your work circle is really, really important. And maintain and nurturing those friendships and making new friendships is also important, because if you don't nurture your friendships, it's easy to lose people. So during a pandemic, I'm sure you all noticed that we had the need that, oh my God, I want to see so and so. I wish I could see. We talked on the phone, but it was not the same. You can't say enough about having a hug, or embrace from a dear loved friend that releases endorphins, the serotonins, that helps you with your mental health, right? It is really important to nurture. Give a call, and I also say here, not just phone call, meet people in person. Try to meet people in person. Hey, let's go for coffee. Yeah, you can use technology, is wonderful, but at the same time, as much as we are connected virtually, I think that person to person meeting does wonders for you. Um, you will be surprised actually that there are people who are so lonely, uh, even though they're connected to so many people virtually. And a good example here also is people working in the work environment who are at a higher level jobs. They're very isolated sometimes. I'm not saying, I don't want to generalize this, but there are people very isolated. They are at a higher position. They cannot talk to people, who are lower to them about some issues. They cannot talk to their higher ups uh, because they are just in that position. They'll come across as not being, competent. So they are so isolated that they seek that support uh, from somewhere, but they don't know where to go at times. So it, there is a some there's a program in Vancouver. They're called professional huggers. I'm not joking. When I saw this, I was actually quite shocked. So these are people who actually provide people with that support. They hug people and they charge $52 an hour, which is amazing. But they say they're busy because people who do not get support anywhere else, they do come to them. And it's sad. It's really sad that we have to, have that kind of support system. But I'm glad it is there for people who cannot find it. But that's just an example that, to the extent that hug, what a hug can do to a person. They say it just makes them just calm, gives them that support. They feel that they suddenly receive that reassurance that they can still go on. Have positive people around. So this is again very important. If you're already feeling low and somebody comes and really dampens your spirits further, no, you really have to declutter your environment to stay up. So people who are positive, who keep you going, who push you, to do positive things. Having those people, actually, they give you that boost in your system. So that is something that you should be aware of, and try to stay away from somebody who brings you down. Volunteering to meet new people. And that's what I do here. When I moved here, I really wanted to meet new people and develop that social circle, develop a tribe again. So I volunteer at the gardening club. I joined a gardening club. I do things like what I'm doing today, and I go to the library. I go wherever people, any opportunities where I can meet other people. So, volunteering not only gives you that good feeling that you're giving back to the community, but you're also meeting other people, and you can also use your skills from your work life to help out other people, like mentoring people, tutoring people, or consulting in, their volunteer consultants, doing taxes. I see people do free taxes for other people. So any kind of volunteering opportunity is also, it's rewarding both ways. Joining a club, again, I talked about that. engage with people in person, not just digitally. And this is really important because even though we talk a lot, texting or um, well, there's TikTok these, I don't even know. There's so many different things, the way people, connect digitally now. There's Instagram, the Facebook, but at the same time, there's the physically, when you meet somebody person to person, that physical contact with other people just cannot be replaced. So they say, disconnect to connect with your family or with your friends, whoever makes you feel happy with, right? So connect with people, put your phones away and talk, meet with them for coffee or lunch, go for a walk, right? And that does wonders to your health. So um, eating a rainbow. So, eating a healthy diet is definitely part of your staying healthy. Eating a well balanced, nutrient dense diet, not just eating whatever, but um, making sure that as you notice this plate, it has lots of different colors. So it has half the plate is covered with vegetables and fruits, including protein. Very important for to keep your muscles healthy. You need proteins, but also protein provides you with that satiation feeling. It keeps you full, takes longer to digest, so you're not eating, other stuff, what's more snacks and stuff, right? Making water as choice of drink. Drinking water hydrates your system. It's so, so important. And again, reducing as we age, and because of, I don't know my the age of my audience right now, but I would say right from the beginning, if we pay attention to what we are eating, not just eating for the sake of eating, there are elements for each say age group which are really important. For example, once you hit 40, 50, we have to start making sure that we have calcium, we have vitamin D in our diets, we have protein for our muscles, we have to eat lots of fiber so that our system regularity is maintained. So making sure that your diet has all these antioxidants and vitamins that your body requires. And I'm not the one to say that have a lot of supplementation. I would say if you get the vitamins through your food, that is more important. Only supplement when you feel there's a gap. For example, if somebody is a vegetarian, they don't eat red meat. So, vitamin B12 is something that they lack. So, supplement that part in your diet. But other than that, if you're getting most of your vitamin requirement through your food, I would not really encourage supplements. Maybe one a day. That is something okay to take because it gives you all the vitamins. So other thing that we have to pay attention to is reducing consumption of processed foods. So we don't know what's in there, right? So the more you pay attention to that, you start reading the ingredients on the labels, it helps you, right? And paying attention to your sugars, how much sodium is in your food that you're eating. And processed foods always have additional stuff to maintain their shelf life, to I guess to make it longer. They have to add other additives, right? So cook more often. So cook at home. Consumption of whole foods is actually so much more healthier, right? So if you cook your own food, you will actually notice that you're eating much more healthier. You control your sugars, you control your salts, you control your other stuff, oils that you make, and what type of oils you're adding, right? So cooking, and during pandemic, actually, that is something we all noticed, that people started baking, people were cooking more at home because we didn't want to eat from outside. So that is actually a very healthy habit to have. So the more fresh food you buy and cook, the healthier it is for your body. And eating together or with others is supposed to be actually very good for you. Eating together with your family, having a rule of putting the phones away when you're eating. And never eat at your desk. If you're working, that is something I say, please make a really conscious effort that take your breaks, put your phone away, shut the computer, and go away and eat somewhere else. You enjoy that food and you savor actually each bite. And that's how, you really, they say it actually is really healthy for you, because then mindfully, you're eating mindfully so that you know what is actually being consumed, right? And moderation. Um, when we, as we age, our caloric requirements do go down. We cannot really eat, say at my age, I'm 60, I cannot eat as I used to eat at 30. So you have to be mindful of how much your portions, right? How much you're eating, and eating that mindfully in moderation. So here I'm also going to touch on all the different diets people go on, right? So people do go do different types of diets, and I'm not really um, going to say don't do it, but from the health perspective, stay away from the fad diets, right? Critically analyze what that particular diet entails. So eating in moderation is considered healthy. Mediterranean diet, plant-based diet is encouraged because it has all the healthy components. Um, it encourages you to eat more vegetables and fruits, and healthy oils and fats. So that is good for your body, right? And of course, eating mindfully, how much you're consuming. When you're talking to somebody on the phone, you don't even know sometimes that, oh, did I finish my food? And that has happened to me. So I do make a conscious effort of putting my phone away when I'm eating, because otherwise you don't even know what you're eating and it's already finished, right? Practice hara hachibu, which is what the Japanese Okinawa tribe, people there live healthy and longer. And that is their formula is that when you're about 80% full, you stop eating. And how would you know that you're 80% full if you're not paying attention? Do not rush through your meals. So eat slow, eat small amounts, eat slow, so that your mouth catches up with your brain, because that messaging does take time, right? So if you're eating slow, paying attention to what you're eating, and when you feel slightly full, stop. And they say the when you even though they say it's counterintuitive, but you know staying a little bit hungry is good for your body because it doesn't have to process huge amount of food, and it has less garbage to put out, right? So avoiding falling for the marketing trends, I think I've already touched on that. So practicing hara hachibu actually really helps. So they also say, eat a good breakfast, and then you can eat a nice, good lunch, but your dinners should always be smaller in amount, because then when you go to bed, you shouldn't go to bed right away, but you wait, because your body needs time to process that food. And if you go to bed with full stomach, definitely it takes way longer for it to empty out, right? So 80% of your stomach is full. It's easier on your body, easier on your system to digest that. So active body is equal to healthy body and healthy mind. And we all know that moving is good for us, right? Keep moving, and every step counts. Whatever you can do. It's not that, you're expected to run a marathon in a day or so. No, never do that. You start gradually. You start gradually on something that you like, that you enjoy. Walking is considered to be the best exercise. And if you're not say if you're not a regular exerciser, try to make an effort to get out in the morning, or whenever you get a time, to do 15 minutes, and then another 15 minutes later, right? So 150 minutes a week, that's not a, we spend that much time on sitting on Facebook or Instagram easily, right? Think about it. So keeping moving every step. If you're really a counter, I don't really count my steps, but I kind of keep a track of, okay, how much did I do today, right? Now, this can also be, what you're doing at home. If you're doing some heavy lifting or housework, vacuuming, things like that, that also helps. But staying on your feet is also helpful. So, moderate to vigorous physical activity is what is the key. And that is what the Health Canada recommends is 150 minutes per week. And if you enjoy activity, you're more likely to do it. But if you go for, say, 5 kilometer walk, because I'm just starting to, walk now, and you're really tired at the end, tomorrow you'll say, I'm really tired, I won't do it. Instead of that, maybe do it in smaller chunks. Go for maybe, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer to start, and gradually build up that, endurance. Adding variety helps. So if you do, say weightlifting, hiking one day, next day you can do maybe just walking, swimming, or yoga or tai chi, right? So just balancing one day heavy exercise, second day you can do some slower pace, easier pace on your body, right? So strength, building that strength, flexibility, balance, endurance, all those are important for your body. Now, as we age, I keep saying as we age, because when you're young, 30, 40, running, 50, all those things are great. But also, you have to be careful. Reaching my age and beyond, we have to be careful about the potential of falls. So we have to be really, really careful about that to maintain our, build up our flexibility and balance. So things like yoga, tai chi, that actually really helps. Dance to music, join a team. There are some exercise, actually, part of Embracing the Healthy Aging Month, we did Tantra Fitness. And it was music, fusion music, and it was like a dance, and people really enjoyed it. So, whatever music you like, put it on and just move. And when you move, you'll be surprised at all the movements, that joint movements are happening when you do those, right? It's a good workout. You break out in sweat, and it actually gives you a good cardio workout as well, and your muscles, they all get worked out. But think about when you're dancing, you're using your joints, your shoulder joints are moving, your arms are moving, your feet are moving, your knees are moving. So it actually gives you a really good workout, and plus you're having fun. And there are, I mean, different um, I'm sure exercises that are happening in town. I'm not familiar with all, but I know that about Tantra Fitness that we did here in Okanagan, in Kelowna. It was really fun. So find out what's available in your community. I'm sure your gyms have it, or some other place where you can go and enjoy that kind of activity. But I really want to focus on is that start slow and gradually build up that endurance level. Because if you move, you're actually burning your calories, you're building up your muscles, you're strengthening those joints, and increasing that circulation in your body. But you're also receiving another benefit, that is, when you go out, what happens? The birds are singing, nice fresh air that is actually running through your hair. It feels so good. It lifts up your morale. It lifts up your just general well-being, right? So you meet people when you're exercising or walking, and you meet people walking dogs with kids. So in general, it gives you lot of benefits for your healthy mind, right? So really, really, um, fun thing to do. Start slow, do no harm, I say. Don't hurt yourself. Not that I'm going to start, say hiking today if you've never hiked before, right? Again, start slow and gradually build up, and you can join a hiking club. There are lots of different age groups in Okanagan that I have actually joined too, where you can do self-paced hiking, walking. There are walking groups as well. So that kind of activity, you meet people, you're also doing exercise, but you're doing that yourself. at your own pace, so you're not being rushed through. And listen to your body while you're doing that. If you're feeling that you're tired, if you're feeling that it's hurting you, if you need to take time, just slow down and take your time. Learn something new. So to keep our memory sharp, we need to polish it. We need to polish our brain. So anything new that we do or we learn, we we are actually working on our brain. We are sharpening it. So what can you do? Revive a hobby. So as I said, when I retired, I was like, okay, what can I do with all this time I have? I always loved gardening. So that was something I started. I joined a gardening club and I started a garden, right? So learning about different it's actually quite interesting that Okanagan has such varied growing environments because they have different zones. So I had to learn about that. Things that I could grow in my previous town, I couldn't grow here because the temperatures are so hot. So I'm learning. I'm sharpening my memory at the same time. I'm protecting it and just, making sure that my brain is still, you know, keeping at that same level so that I'm not losing it. They say if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So mental sharpness is really important. You have to be alert. You have to be mentally sharp to make your life decisions. So I'm doing gardening, right? So revive a hobby. Look at the things that you always said. I know when we are working, say if I when I retire, I want to do this, this, this. Look at your to do folder. What do I want to do? What did I wanted to do? Do I want to go hiking, painting, or sewing, quilting, or for men, if they want to do some hobby, mechanical stuff, or pick up other skills, right? Learning different language. There's so many different apps. I always want to learn Spanish. That is on my to-do list, and I will do it one day, definitely. But that's again, you're learning something different. You're teasing your brain, you're sharpening it so that you are not losing um, your cognition sort of is not slowing down, right? So playing some mind stimulating games, that also you have to use your brain. So you're stimulating your brain. Attending a class on totally different skill. So going out of your comfort zone, like Miss Kitty, she's going to do science all of a sudden. So you're just challenging yourself. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that will help you to keep your brain sharp. Volunteer again. Volunteering in something that you've never done before. Say, hey, I like to volunteer. They will teach you. So you're learning some new skills, but you're also meeting other people, and you're also using the time, that free time where you could have been sitting in doing something more productive. You're also giving back. And while doing that, you are actually helping yourself, helping your mind, helping your mental health, because you're spending so much time out of your house with different people, and uh, learning so much more from other people, and giving back always feels so good. Again, do no harm. So don't do anything that will harm you. You always have to take calculated risk. Can I do this? All of a sudden, Ranjit said, go out of your comfort zone. And you say, okay, I'm going scuba diving. Well, no, please do no harm. And look at your skill level, say comfort level, and definitely take that calculated risk. Can I do it? Yeah, I can do it. I think so. And if you can't, you step back, right? So learning something new definitely helps us to polish our brain, and helps our cognition. Taking care of the sun, I know this is a very general one, but we forget. um, the skin definitely, as we age, becomes thinner, drier, and less elastic. So we have to pay attention. In our Okanagan Valley here, the sun is very, very strong. I found out that. And you really have to protect yourself, making sure that you're hydrating yourself, you're using sunscreen, moisturizers, and sun protective clothing, because the sun, it actually does burn you, really. Even me, who's so used to, coming from a tropical country. I mean, from a hot country, I even feel hot. So you really have to take certain simple steps. Use your hats, use your glasses. Um, uh, the eyes are actually, um, they can be damaged because the reflection from the snow or ice and water, they can damage your cornea. So any of the laser tanning lights also can damage your eyes. So please, if you're thinking you're out in the sun for long, make sure that you are using sun protection, using your UV protected sunglasses, and so that there's you're minimizing the risks for cataracts and macular degeneration, because they can be really hard on your eyes. If you have ever noticed, if you're water skier or out by the lake, the reflection of the sun on the water is so bright it can actually damage your area where the images form in your eyes, right? So it's really important that we protect ourselves from sun. And hydration, always make sure you drink enough so that you're not dehydrated. Health monitoring. This is becoming a challenge for us because we are so short of physicians all over the country. So in learning that we are already in a shortage, more important for you to become health advocate for yourself. So what do you do when you do that? Make sure that you keep a record of all your like a health record, all your reports, what tests you've gotten in the past, and whenever you go to your doctor, you can always ask for reports, but you can also go online and check your reports, and making sure that you follow up on things that doctors forget. So when you go to your doctor, what do? I always say make a list of the questions you have, because considering the doctors are so busy, they they know us, but they don't remember everything about what our needs are. So uh, you may have to ask, doctor, I had this test 2 weeks ago. I would like to know the results, if he forgets that, right? So put that on your question list, that I need to ask my doctor. Say, I need to follow up on my test results. I need to follow up on my medication. I need to ask him, certain questions about whatever your particular health concerns are. And when you go to the doctor, they actually appreciate that, because they're so busy. It helps them to know that the client already has a list of questions, and it makes them easier to go back. Oh, okay, yeah, I can look up this, I can do this, I can renew your prescription. So you have to take charge here, because the doctors may all of a sudden retire, and then you're lost again. Oh, I don't know, my doctor had all the. So, and if you're moving like me, to have your health records, you can actually ask for your results or your health file, and that way you have your records for when you go and join another clinic. Keep up with your regular checkups and screenings. So any screenings on annual basis or regular basis, for example, for women, it's the breast screening, the pap smears, and for men is the prostate, and your regular, other screening, depending on whatever conditions you may be having, or health conditions you may be having. So it's really important to keep a track of those if you haven't had, because there are certain things, you are to be repeated 2 years, every 1 year. So you have those on your record and say, yeah, it's been 2 years. I need to, get this testing done again. Because if you don't keep a track of your health, if you don't report whatever symptoms you're feeling to your doctor's timely manner, early diagnosis cannot be made, and early diagnosis can lead to a timely treatment. So if you ignore your issues, then doctor is not really responsible for that. So it's a partnership between the physician and the patient. So no longer we say doctor is the God. Yes, the doctor has all the knowledge, but we need to tell them what we are going through so that they can help us, right? So it's a partnership. So we are responsible 50% for our health, 50% where doctor helps, right? And overall, we are our own health advocate because we need to pay attention to what goes in our body, what's happening with our body, and then getting that treatment in a timely manner so that the doctor can actually help us out. Ask for a second opinion if you're in doubt. Never hesitate to do that. If you're brushed off or if you think that you know your gut feeling is, oh no, this doesn't feel right, ask ask your doctor, I would like to get a second opinion, and seek, who else, maybe from your friends, other people you can ask, who else you can go and see, so that you can make sure you make an informed and the right decision for your health, because you only live once and that body is yours, and how you treat your body, how other people treat your body is very, very important. Increase your water intake. Definitely, water plays a huge role in our bodies and maintaining body temperature, hydrates all the tissues. So we need to make sure that we are drinking enough water all the time. It lubricates the joints, helps to remove waste from your body. Of course, mental functioning. Have you ever noticed when you dehydrate how you feel dizzy? And but as soon as you drink enough, then you feel better, right? So it affects our nervous system, curbs hunger. And you know what? It doesn't have to be just plain water, it can be infused water. Like I have it in the picture, you can put lemon, you can put cucumber. In summertime, I throw mint in there, I throw in some lemon, and it's a really nice cucumbers, and it gives you really nice flavored water. You don't have to buy that flavored water from the store, you make your own, and that way you're consuming direct water, not no additives in there. But you can also have it in the form of, say, if you're having soup, green tea, sorry about that, and vegetable juice, all those liquidy things also have water. Just make sure that there's no sugar added to that. So avoid the sugary drinks because you don't want extra sugar, right? So having always drinking enough water is helpful. And as our older adults, somehow they don't get enough water intake, it seems. So some people, they need help to drink water, right? But we, we want to just make sure that we take care of that hydration in our bodies. Ease your mind and body of stress. Stress. Life is stressful. What is not stressful? The weather is stressful. Driving is stressful. And when you think of everyday challenges in our lives, I mean, there are a lot of stress. Everybody, pandemic was way stressful, right? And main thing is, yes, there's going to be a lot of stress, but we have to learn how do we manage our stress, because the psychological factors contribute to biological aging. What happens when we are stressed? We are so uptight. So when we are uptight, our body, like each tissue of our body, is affected. We don't drink enough, we don't eat enough because our brain is stressed. It gives a message. Our stomach is shrinking, like it's up in a knot, so we don't feel hungry. We get upset stomach. So a whole body is affected with stress, right? And I'm not saying that it's easily done, but what will help is if we learn what is my particular reaction to um, stress, I can work on it. So learn how you respond to stress. So some people get irritable, anger, tearful, forgetful, sleepy. You don't sleep. Um, what can you do? So I say, for example, if I get stressed, I kind of recognize that I'm feeling down. I get out of the house. I go for a walk. Sometimes I go for something I call retail therapy. I just go to the mall. You see people, I don't have to buy something, or if I decide I can buy something, but just being out helps me. But it's very individual, right? Some people, they say just sleeping helps me, right? So it's a very individual thing. So recognize how do you respond to stress, and then take action. Learn your coping mechanism. Learn what works best for you, right? So some of the stress relievers are exercising. Some people say spending quiet time alone is good for me. Writing and journaling helps to put those thoughts on a piece of paper. Um, Living in the moment. This is something I've been practicing, and it actually really helps me. Living in the moment is being present. Past is gone. I can't do anything about it. Future, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So right now, I'm just focusing on presenting to you. So I'm just living in this particular moment. So in that, what is happening in this moment? Yeah, it's going really well. I'm presenting, So that living in the present activity, whatever you're doing, will take your mind off the future, off the past, and you're focusing on just what you're doing, right? And that's being mindful, being present, so that your energy is not going anywhere, your thoughts are not drifting other places, but you are actually just doing. And that actually helps in sort of easing your mind. Make time to unplug. So again, leave your phone, go for a walk. You're not being bothered by messages or phone calls. You're just spending that time out in the nature. Spend that time out in the nature, because that is what is for that particular moment. Practicing sleep hygiene. When you're sleeping, no phones, no computers, nothing in your room, just sleep, right? So focusing on those areas will help. And be a kid. Everybody has a kid inside. You see the guy blowing bubbles with the kids? It helps because he's just in that moment blowing bubbles, letting out his stress. Some people, they practice the art of forgiveness. It helps them. Gratitude, spirituality, meditation helps to ease off your mind. And volunteering. I think I've spoken a lot about volunteering in the community. Giving back always helps. Decluttering your life. Make sure you have positive things around you, you know positive people around you who lift you up, lift your spirits, not pull you down. Talk to a support person and a counselor. The cognitive behavior therapy, something that helps you to switch your thoughts, really helps. So though you need trained people for those. Humor. Humor is anti-aging. It really helps to strengthen your immune system, but it really releases those endorphins, right? Natural painkillers, helps to control your stress, your blood pressure, your depression, everything. Talk to a child, look for some funny movies, and laughter yoga is something that really, really helps too. Stop smoking and reducing intake of alcohol. People smoke or drink to ease their stress. But if we find ways to manage our stress, we won't be going into this direction, right? And uh, some people drink because they want to loosen up, right? But if you find other ways to manage these stressful conditions, then you will not be going into, say, for a drink. Now, the guidelines for alcohol consumptions have changed. They say, best low risk is just 2 drinks a week. For women, it's just 1 drink, right? Over that, 3 to 6 is what they say moderate risk, but beyond that, it's all dangerous, not good for your health. So reduce that smoking and drinking, because there are a lot of negative outcomes from this. And of course, social implications, a lot of them, right? Take time for self-care and reflection. I can't emphasize on this enough. What makes you feel centered? How can you include that activity in your daily life? And then protect that time. Establish some goals, create some boundaries around you so that you can actually do that particular activity, and then revisit and see, do these changes help me? Do they are they really making any positive impact on my health? So revisit that. That's really important. I'm rushing through the last slide, Paula. So that's what's felt healthiest. So in summarizing, having good friends and confident, eating a rainbow, active body, learning something new, taking care in the sun, All those factors that we talked about, they add on to make you healthiest. And I can't stress enough, I love this poem. The best doctors anywhere, no one can deny it, are sunshine, water, rest, and air, exercise, and diet. These six will gladly you attend if only you're willing, your willpower, your mind they'll ease, your will they'll mend, and charge you not a shilling. Isn't that the truth? They don't charge you anything, and these are easily available. So there are some resources. The Health Canada has a lot of good information. HealthLink BC has lots of good information. Please visit these websites. Your local libraries have really good books to read upon healthy aging. Please visit those. And with that, I conclude. I know I rushed through the last part, but you know what? Main thing is if you take time to focus on your health, start today. Small steps, but whatever actions you take today will help you in the long run to live up to 90 and who knows up to 104 like Jerry. Thank you so much for attending today. I hope the tips that I gave you here, some of them were probably but I hope I added to your toolbox.
Thank you, Ranjit. That was so many good reminders. And yeah, I loved the variety of things that we can work on. I hadn't heard of Harabrachi Fu before, at least not framed in that way. And Jerry Zimmerman, I'm going to look him up because 104.
Yeah,
There's hope. There's hope.
there's
And
hope. Yes.
learning new things. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Chiquetta, for your support and for always organizing such great events, polishing the silver. Yes, Chiquetta, that's so true. We encourage you to attend other events scheduled for Embrace Aging Month. Please visit our website. Chiquetta's kindly put it in the chat, OkanaganembraceAging.com. We will look forward to growing this event further. Any ways you'd like to support us, please contact us. The contact information is on the website. And you'll receive an email with a link for an evaluation at the end. So please feel free to respond. And thank you again, Ranjit, for a great session.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care, everybody. I hope you attend other events and thank you for participating.